everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is...
Pet McDonald, and we're here to begin our playthrough of Raiders of the North Sea.
That's right. But what if someone doesn't know how to play?
I guess they're out of luck.
That's not true. We have an instructional video that you can watch, so you can learn how to play. You'll find it linked in the description below.
I better go watch that.
What? You didn't watch it yet?
Well, that was informative.
I'm glad you liked the video, Pep, but what's next?
We rolled to see who goes first, and I believe...
Yes, I had rolled earlier and did get the higher value, so I'll be going first.
Take the lead.
Just to be clear, I am going to be on the blue ship, and Pep will be on the red ship. I know exactly what I want to do for my first turn. I'm going to place this worker here in the barracks, and that's going to allow me to hire a crew member from my hand, and I want to bring out the jeweler.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, my Vikings like to look really good when they go into battle. This is going to cost me 1 silver, which I'll take from my ship and return it to the supply.
So what does the jeweler do?
Well, nothing right away, but it will let me gain 1 additional silver every time I go to the silversmith.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
Maybe I'll never even have to go raiding in order to collect all kinds of riches.
Well, remember, you can only store 8 of each thing.
That's right, at most you can have 8 silver, 8 provision.
And 8 cards.
Pep, I'm worried about my next action. I don't want to get us off on the wrong foot here. We've been getting along quite nicely in our little village, but I have a slight obsession with silver. So for my next action, I'm going to use the town hall action by taking this worker off, and that will allow me to play a crew from my hand for its action, which is right here. And it says I can take up to 2 silver from an opponent.
I'll cut you.
I believe it. But in the meantime, I get to take these silver here and just add them, and then this is discarded.
Well, at least you don't get to keep that guy.
You're right. I was giving up something that had a rating strength of 3, but it was going to cost me quite a bit as well.
Well, if you're going to start off by taking my money, I guess I'm going to have to get some money of my own.
Okay.
So I'll use my worker to go to the silversmith. Now look, I have 3 coins as well.
So I'm not that much farther ahead, but I do have a crew member out that you don't.
Well, I can fix that. So I'll take a worker off of the barracks, which will allow me to play a crew member of my own. Say hello to the forager, which will also cost me 1.
Now what does this let you do?
Every time I go to the mill and get a provision, I get an extra provision.
Okay, so we've basically done very similar things.
Yeah, except you like money and I like food.
I'm feeling like we might be able to get along after all, Pep.
Yeah, just don't steal from me again.
Okay. Well, I think for my turn, I'm going to place my worker into the barracks. So this will allow me to hire another crew member. This is my archer, and it says that I will gain 2 victory points whenever I raid an outpost. But she's a little more expensive. It's going to cost me all 3 of my silver, and Pep, that's why I took the silver from you, even though it didn't really slow you down.
A likely story.
Believe me, Pep, there was nothing personal in it at all. For my next action, I'm going to go to the gatehouse by pulling off this worker, and this will allow me to draw 2 new cards from the top of the deck.
Hope they're good.
Me too.
All right, back to me. I like this new worker thing you have going on, so I'm going to place my action onto the gatehouse, draw 2 of these cards, and then it's time to hire a new crew member. And by new, I mean a twin to my first
Oh,
one.
you've got 2 of the same.
That's right, so 2 extra provisions every time I go to the mill.
And provisions are pretty important because if you want to go raiding, you're always going to need a certain number of them to satisfy the conditions. So you're setting yourself up, I think, for an early raiding session. But let me see what I can come up with for my next turn. I know Pep's going to be coming for provisions very soon. I'm going to go to the mill myself, though, and that's going to give me 1 provision. You can see if you put in different colored workers, you'll be able to get more, but right now the black ones are the only ones we have access to. This provision will go into my boat, and I'll take back this worker so I can get some money again. 3 silver, to be precise. Pep, back over to you.
You've made my choice really easy, just doing what you did in reverse. So, 1 worker to the silversmith to gain myself 3 coins, and 1 worker off the mill in order to gain myself 3 food.
All right, 3 provisions for you.
Oh, my ship can't even hold all this loot.
You're overflowing there. Obviously, raiding you early on has not slowed you down whatsoever. I am apparently not a very good Viking.
Hey, it looks like your jeweler's trying to make off with some money.
I noticed that. Listen, stay away from the shiny there, jeweler.
I think your jeweler agrees with you. That money was actually money you forgot to take.
Oh, I forgot to use her ability when I took the silversmith action before.
That's right.
Okay, so I should have 1 more silver, and now I'll proceed with my turn, which I'm actually I'm a little stumped by here. I want to both go to the mill and the barracks, but you always have to place 1 worker and take 1 worker off, and that's not going to be possible. So, well, listen, I know for sure I want to go to the mill. So I'll add a provision to my boat.
Oh, you only get 1 provision when you go to the
Yeah,
mill.
I only
That's a
get
shame.
1. Thanks, Pep. One place I can get lots of stuff, though, is at the silversmith, so I'll take that worker back and not forget to take the extra silver, which will give me 4.
Oh, you gave one to me.
Boy, I think I better just put this over here.
So you're at max.
That's true, I have my 8 silver. I can't get any more. And that's my turn, so back over to you, Pep.
Listen, Rodney, ever since you took my coins, I've just been in an unfathomable, seething rage.
Boy, I'm really sorry about that, Pep.
Oh, you'll be sorry after you see my berserker coming.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to the barracks and I'm gonna lay out my berserker. And he's a bit expensive. He's gonna cost me 3 of my silver.
What's his special ability?
If he's killed during a raid, he comes right back to my hand. And he's got 4 power. He's a beast.
He's scary, but he's also going to be really useful, I think, Pep, because as people will see, we have a lot of these Valkyrie pieces in each of the raiding spaces.
Yeah, basically, almost all the Valkyries ended up in the sea spots, in the harbors.
Which would normally cause you to lose a Viking, and you won't have to worry about that.
I'll have to pay 3 coins every time to bring him back, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, at least going back to your hand means you will have to pay for him each time.
And it's pretty clear that I'm going to go raiding next turn, so I better get some more provisions, and I'll take a worker back from the mill.
All right, that's going to give you 3 provisions.
Hey, those are mine. Stop.
We're each trying to take each other's stuff. Well, Pep, I think it is time to go raiding, and that's what I'll do for my turn. Now we're talking. We're going to go raiding. For some reason, I sound like a pirate when I'm actually a Viking. So I'm going to use my worker to go to one of these spaces here because I need to have 2 provisions as well as at least 2 crew members, which is what I have.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just barely got to leave the village. So I'll spend the 2 provisions.
Now, which of these fine, fabulous harbors would you like to raid?
That's right, I have my pick of them, but I think this is the one that I'll take.
Yeah, it's juicy.
Yeah, it's got a gold, 2 silver, but it also has a Valkyrie. And when this is removed, I also have to kill one of my crew members. Well, it turns out that taking a jeweler on a raid isn't all that effective.
You've got all the money you need anyway.
Yeah, the jeweler fell overboard, and unfortunately carrying all that gold meant she sunk straight to the bottom.
That's so mean.
I know, but it was for a good cause because now this marker goes up on this track, which I guess is a good cause?
Yes, the news of your raid is spread throughout the galaxy, so you're going to be getting 1 point.
Galaxy? What? We've gone from pirates to science fiction? This is a Viking game.
Listen, if movies about aliens have told us anything, they're always watching.
Well, I can't argue with that. Pep's right. I'm going to get some victory points for my raiding. 1, in fact, which I'll move up here on the track. And then I'll be collecting this gray worker.
That's great.
This will give me some different options in my next turn. Now, Pep, back over to you.
I'm kind of upset that you got to the harbor ahead of me.
Don't be upset. There's lots of time for raiding. I'm sure you're hot on my heels.
Yeah, that's right. I'm coming in to get you.
I don't know what accent that was, but...
It's my angry accent.
Okay, your angry accent. Okay, well, this area to raid is going to cost you 3 of your provisions, and you need to have at least 2 crew members, which is no problem because you have 3.
Yeah, and I really want the gold, so I'm going to go for this one here.
A lot of gold.
Yeah, but unfortunately, also a Valkyrie.
And don't forget, you gain the gray worker.
That's true, and my berserker is dying a glorious death.
Right, and satisfying the cost of the Valkyrie instead of losing a Viking, you're using your berserker's ability and adding it to your hand.
You're right. I'm hot on your heels, both in honorable death and in victory points.
Well, after a raiding session, my Vikings want to go raiding more, but they'll need provisions. So I'm going to go to the mill, and this time in using a gray worker, I'll be able to collect 2 provisions, which should help get me back on the seas a little bit quicker. And then I'm going to claim this worker, which will allow me to play and hire another crew member. This time, my recruiter. He's going to cost 2 of my silver, but now I'll pay 1 less silver anytime I recruit new crew members.
Love it. Well, for me next, I'm going to be going to the silversmith. Now, unfortunately, this gray worker doesn't give me quite as much coins as it normally would.
You were desperate for them though, were you?
Yeah, I really need that money.
Well, I'm sure you'll put it to good use. What do you want to do next?
Well, I'm going to pull that worker that you put on the mill back off because it gives me even more food. Now I get 2 plus 2 for a total of 4 provisions.
Oh my goodness, I really set you up for that one. That's all of our goods are blending together. I wouldn't mind some of those provisions.
And I wouldn't mind some of those coins. Potential alliance?
Not yet. Well, I regret what happened to the jeweler. I'd like to add another crew member to my team, so I'm going to go to the barracks and recruit this barbarian.
Jeez, the muscles.
Yes, he's been working out. And normally it would cost me 3 coins, but because of the recruiter, it's only going to cost me 2 coins.
So what's this high-protein fella do?
Well, it's going to gain me 2 strength anytime I raid a fortress.
Oh, those are the big ones up there.
Yeah, you can't see all of the different locations right now, but they do have names, and some of those names will trigger abilities on the different crew members you have. And for my second action, I'll take this worker off of the gatehouse so I can draw 2 new crew to put in my hand.
Speaking of attack strength, as you can see, my team is sorely lacking, so I'm going to actually take a trip to the armorer since I have a gray worker.
We have a couple options here, Pep. You can either spend 1 iron or 2 silver.
Well, I want to go up by 2, so I'm going to spend the 1 iron.
And just keep in mind, even if Pep had additional iron, he could still only do this action once per turn.
And that's true for all of the action spaces.
All right, Pep, you need to pull back a worker. Which one's it going to be?
It's going to be the barracks because I need to recruit somebody again. And this person is going to cost me 3 coins, so I'm sure you can guess.
I think the Berserker's coming back, and you just barely had enough to pay for it. Well, hold on a second. That's not the Berserker.
You're right, it's the Avenger.
You surprised me, Pep. What's this Viking's ability?
If the Avenger dies in battle, you have to kill one of your Vikings as well.
You know, Pep, I think I like the Berserker better. Where's that guy?
Oh, he's off in a field covered in blood somewhere, I'm sure.
Okay, well, let's get him back sooner rather than later. Well, Pep, it's time for us to set sail. We're going to turn things over to the viewers, and you can help me decide what I'm going to do for my turn.
That's right, you have a black worker, you need to place for an action, and then you pull one back.
Unless I go raiding.
Yeah, and then you're only going to place one.
And I'll still pull one back, actually.
Yeah.
So there you go. Either way, you get to decide. So I'll be showing you everything I have in my hand, as well as the cards in front of me, to help you make that decision. If you have an idea, put it in the comments below. If you like what someone says, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like it, well, propose your own suggestion. Maybe someone will vote for that. Whichever one gets the most votes, that's what we'll come back and do. But until the next episode,
Thanks for watching.
Now you might be thinking, I have no idea how to play this game. Well, that's too bad.
To show you Raiders of the North Sea and how we would play the game if we were to sit down at a table and play it. Yeah.
Well, let's do that over again. But Pep, what if someone doesn't know how to play?
Hi, I'm Pep.
But Pep, what if someone doesn't know how to play? It's time for us to set sail and turn things over to the viewers. You can now she's back to life.
And we're here to begin our playthrough of Raiders of the North Sea.
But Pep, what if I don't C?
Oh, there's no S. Yarr!
Only one C will be rated.
Only one C will be rated.